So in the last video, we talked about using the input distance over output distance, the mechanical advantage, id over odd, to figure out what the mechanical advantage of a substance is, or what a machine is, okay? But the other way we talked about is output force divided by input force. So what we're going to do is look at another inclined plane and show you how both of these will get you the same result, okay? So a 500 Newton, this is a force, all right? So this, oops, sorry, my pen's kind of behind here. Anytime we see the Newton, that's going to be telling us a force. So we've got a 500 Newton cart is lifted to a height of 1 meter using a 10-meter long ramp. Okay, so let's stop and think for a second. The 10-meter long ramp is the distance that I'm going to have to move this. So this is my input distance. It's the distance that I'm going to have to move this entire cart, okay? The output distance is how high am I going to move this? What am I trying to get out of it? How far am I trying to move it? I'm trying to move it 1 meter. That's the difference. So that's my output distance. So we could already look at it and go id over odd. Okay, so input distance divided by output distance, 10 divided by 1 gives me a mechanical advantage of 10. So this is what you just did in the previous video and on the previous problems and what we worked on a little bit the other day when you guys were looking at the levers on that gizmo with the kids, the balancing act, okay? However, let's look at output force. So if we continue reading, you can see that the worker only has to use 50 newtons of force to pull the cart. You can figure the mechanical advantage in either of these two ways. So if we have 500 newtons, that is what the load is. That's what's being put out on us. So the load is 500 newtons, but the worker is able to do 50 newtons. So this is our output force is the load, input force is the 50, divide them, get rid of the label newtons, and you're left with a mechanical advantage of 10. So they both do exactly the same thing that we had talked about before, okay? So you can solve for simple machines based on input distance divided by output distance or output force divided by input force. And it just depends on the information that's given to you, okay? Now, what I need you to do is go through and work through the problems that are on this exact sheet that I show you here. I've attached that link to my website. And then also, I'm going to have one more video that's going to show you how this works with the pulley simulation that you're going to do. Tomorrow, we'll do the lever lab when I'm back, and you guys are going to be calculating mechanical advantage of the different levers and see what works best. And then on Wednesday, we'll kind of see where we're at with the ability to do both of these with ideal mechanical advantage and add what's called actual mechanical advantage and what's called a